People of the internet! Welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here with another one. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topics, folks. Got a video pulled up here. Comes from a channel on YouTube called The Nation View, in which they entitled the video, "Social Media is Destroying People and No One Even Notices." Of course, folks, I tend to speak on these things from time to time in terms of just the current state of our culture, the things that are prominent within our mainstream media, just the culture overall as a whole. Gen Z, millennials, society. These are all things that I like to talk about, folks. I see a title, I see a thumbnail that jumps out to me. Of course, I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let's get into it.
This is a controversial opinion, but I think that social media has literally ruined my generation and the way that people communicate. One thing that truly baffles me is the fact that it is an acceptable form of communication in my generation, and especially the new younger generations, to send a picture back and forth and not communicate. And that's considered like communication. Like, that is literally so weird to me. Like, nowadays, the fact that people aren't like, oh, can I get your number? I want to talk to you. It's like, can I get your snap? Like, that just makes no sense to me. The fact that generally most of the time, like, yes, you can have conversations on Snapchat, but the fact that sometimes you'll just go back and forth for days with someone sending pictures and no words, and that's like normal, it's just so freaking weird. And again, going like with Instagram and likes and comments, it's the fact that like people consider you like liking their picture like a form of communication. I know in relationships it comes up a lot as a problem where, you know, if a guy's liking a girl's picture, it's like, oh, well, he's letting them know like he's interested. Like, I just think all of that is so weird to me. And this is coming from someone who does have like a small platform in social media, and social media has been such a big part of my life. But I still think that if I could go back and choose to live in a time where social media wasn't a thing and didn't exist, I would 100% choose that over this like weird world that we're all living in.
The human brain was not designed for social media at all. You're not supposed to wake up in the morning, pick up your phone, and see a video of a guy getting his head chopped off, a post about World War III being around the corner, and then a picture of your ex in their new relationship. 10 minutes into your day and you're convinced the world is ending, your anxiety's through the roof, you feel lonely, and you haven't even gone outside yet, and then you do go outside and the sun is shining, people are smiling and laughing, the birds are chirping, absolutely nothing is wrong. So you started your day by scrolling Instagram for 5 minutes before you got out of bed, and now you feel horrible because the human mind is not meant to comprehend all these things at once, especially when they're things like World War III is happening, this guy just died, this bombing just happened. We're not supposed to get all this information in such a short amount of time. This is why we need to bring back third places in our society. In our parents' age, after work, people would go places and socialize, have a drink, grab dinner with friends, go golfing, go to the pool club, literally do anything with other human beings face to face. Now people come home from work, plant their butt on the couch, get in bed, and scroll TikTok, scroll Instagram for hours on end, and fry their brains, give themselves self-induced anxiety and depression, and it's no wonder why everyone's miserable nowadays. Get an in-person group of friends, go hang out in real life, put social media down. I'm addicted too. We're all addicted to this shit, and it's horrible for you. Horrible.
Pause it right there. There you heard it, folks. There's a few clips thus far. It looks like these are a series of different TikTokers, I guess, that are sharing their opinions on social media and the current state of our culture, and how it seems to have a negative effect on how us humans are interacting with each other, our day-to-day, you know, emotions, mentally, physically, emotionally, the effect that social media is having on us as a whole, as a culture. And to be completely honest, I agree with the sentiment a lot. There's a lot of things that were mentioned in these clips that I agree with. One, in terms of the effect that social media has had on day-to-day relationships, how, you know, nowadays it's more common for somebody to ask for your Instagram before they ask for your number, ask for your Snapchat, or whatever the case is. How, you know, a means of communication could be simply liking a person's photo, and that could be constituted as maybe showing interest, or it could mean, you know, whatever the case. I always speak on this before as well too, in terms of social media etiquette, right? Social media is indeed a way of communication. It is. But I think the main sentiment of this video and what people are maybe realizing as well too is that social media seems to be taken away from the human-to-human interactions that society once indulged in, such as hanging out with friends and groups in real life, right? I think ever since 2020, we've seen an influx of Zoom calls and Zoom meetings and FaceTimes and this, that, and the other. And yeah, people are still going out and hanging out, whatever the case is, but it seems that comes secondary, right? In my personal opinion, my personal observation, it seems as if human interaction comes secondary, and social media and speaking through a gadget is the primary means of communication when it comes to interacting with other humans. Folks, I do agree. I do think that social media is a gift and a curse. I've been saying this for some time. Does social media have its benefits? Yes, it does. In terms of connections, meeting people that you probably would have never met at all, from all around the world, different states, different cities, different countries, whatever the case is, it does have its benefits. People make money on social media. People grow communities and audiences on social media. All of that I'm very aware of. But in the long term, folks, I do sometimes question what the mental and emotional effects will be on social media when it comes to humans in our society, in our culture, and how we interact with one another. It's a little bit frightening. Let's watch a little bit more of these clips. I think there's a few more. I just want to get a little bit more insight, some of the gripes that are coming from TikTokers and other, looks like millennials, Gen Z folks on social media in terms of how they feel that social media is destroying our culture. Let's get into it.
Wow, you could be so much further in life if you didn't have a social media addiction. Like, imagine social media just wasn't a thing anymore. Like, TikTok wasn't a thing, and we didn't scroll on our phones for like 9 hours a day. Like, what could I have been by now? I waste so much time scrolling on my phone every single day. That is like a big chunk of my day on my phone that I could have been using to grow myself, like to have some sort of growth in my life. And I'm not saying that I don't have any growth in my life. Like, I definitely do, but I feel like it has been stunted. I feel like my potential has been stunted by the fact that I literally have an addiction to my phone. Like,
I've recently become so aware of how addicted to my phone I am. I was just walking out of a workout class, and you're in there for an hour. Obviously, no one's on their phone. What's the first thing that everybody picks up as they're walking out the door or takes out of their bag? Their phone. They're walking out of the class, and immediately they're back on their phone. I consciously try not to do that. I wait like till I get back to my car at least. Also, when you're watching TV, if your phone is next to you, watching a show, how many times do you pick up your phone? Because I used to be picking up my phone
Sick.
every 5 minutes to check it. Check what? I don't know. Next time you watch a show, count how many times you pick up your phone. It's actually crazy, and I've gotten to the point that I need to put my phone in a separate room when I go to sleep, or else it's too much of a temptation for me. Didn't used to think I was this addicted, but since I've been posting more on social media, it's definitely become more and more addicting because of the dopamine hit I get when I see if I got likes or views. I remind myself, you need to touch grass. This is not real life.
Touch
and this
grass.
is my reminder to you that even the littlest moments that you can pull yourself away from your phone, like when you leave a workout class or when you leave work, just walk back to your car without your phone and see how you feel.
Pause it right there. So there you see a few spokespersons of looks like Gen Z and millennials expressing how social media has distorted their life and stunted their growth and is distracting and addicting, and it's truly sad. Folks, as I sit and watch this as well too, there is a level of self-accountability that has to be taken as well. A level of discipline as well too that we all have to take accountability for. Are these social media apps addicting? Yes, they are. Are they, is there a level of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. And sometimes it's just boredom. Sometimes it's just stress or anxiety, whatever the case is. Whatever it is that's drawing you closer and closer to your phone and making it harder and harder for you to put it down. I do think that there's a level of accountability that we all need to take, myself included, that sees to it that we don't be slaves to these devices. For me personally, folks, honestly, one thing that I think kind of works for me personally, because I wouldn't say I'm addicted to social media. Yeah, there's a part of me that has to be on social media because of what I do. Of course, I do run this platform. I do have accounts on social media platforms. Of course, nowadays, whatever you're doing, whether you're an entrepreneur of any sort, you do need social media to some degree to grow your brand and brand awareness and build community and this, that, and the other, and network and things of that nature. So just by my craft, of course, I do have to be decently on social media. But I only allow myself, especially like on like Instagram and TikTok, whatever the case is, I only allow myself a few scrolls and then I put my phone down. And I think it's like, in my mind, I know, like, I want to say like I know better. Like, there's a period of times where like I'll scroll, and the instant that I realize that I've done this gesture too long, I feel disgusted and mad at myself, and I just throw my phone. I just put my phone down. So it's just like, sometimes you gotta call yourself a loser. Like, you like, sometimes like, you're a loser, bro. This is like, that internal voice, that internal dialogue with yourself, bro, can sometimes be strong enough to like, who am I becoming? So it's just like, for me personally, like, I can only do this but for so long. Like, of course, I'll get on Twitter, I'll scroll. It's like, I get in and I get out. That's how I kind of like try to do it. And of course, you probably do that periodically, a few times out the day, whatever the case is. But I'm talking to the people who are struggling, like the one girl said, you're just like, hours have gone by and you've scrolled, where it's getting to the point that you're slipping on your responsibilities and your priorities. Like, that's when I think you have a problem. I think for me personally, like, I don't put social media before my work and the things that I need to do. Like, my responsibilities are still intact. And again, I'm not trying to sound whatever the case is, but I think there is a level of accountability. Social media doesn't have to destroy you, but it is. It doesn't have to. put some measures in place. Of course, there's tools, there's apps. I know there's, time blockers. I've seen so many devices and gadgets, of course, that if social media is becoming a problem for you, that people can tap into. I know people leave their phone in the other room. I know there's an app, I forgot what it's called. What is it, Block or Brick? The one device that once you put it on, like, it's a device that you have to tap on your phone. It'll shut down all your apps or the cases, and the only way to get your apps back up and running is if you tap it on again, whatever. There's so many different tools and knickknacks out there that can help you if you are somebody who's addicted to social media. Again, folks, like, we are the ones that are controlling these devices. Like, we are in control. Take back your control. Take back your power. If you're somebody that right now who can honestly admit that social media, you're spending hours and hours upon your day and your priorities and your responsibilities are slipping away, then you need to get help, to be completely honest. If you are beyond the limits of self-control and social media is now destroying your life and your relationships and your ability to interact with other humans in real life, then you need to get help. I'm being real. Because I would say it's just like any other addiction. The same way that you could be addicted to gambling, addicted to alcohol, addicted to whatever. Social media is a drug that people are getting addicted to. And people are, like you heard the one lady say, she can't go 2 minutes without, leaving a class, whatever the case is, and they're back glued to their phones. Again, folks, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Of course, I am on social media as well, too, a decent amount. But for me personally, like, the second I start to feel like a loser after too many, like, if I do this too many times, I put my phone down. Like, what the hell am I doing? So it's just like, you gotta, like, it's psychological. You gotta trick your brain, put whatever measures you gotta instill within your routine, whether it's a timer, whether it's whatever the case is. And like they say, touch grass, have human interactions, talk to other humans, bro. Because again, we'll look back. I'm telling you, I always say this a lot of the time as well, too. We'll look back 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and we'll see the destruction that social media and these apps, Instagram, TikTok, we'll look back and see the effect that it had over the human psyche over X amount of time. At the rate at which we're moving right now, and of course, these corporations, you can kind of fault them as well, too, because they do it on purpose. It's like they make it addicting. They make it, so it's just like you will come back and you will pick up that phone. But again, folks, you are the human. You are the one that's in control. Take back your power, man. Don't let these apps destroy your life. They don't have to destroy your life, to be completely honest. It's like you can get back control. Go outside. Go for a run. Read a book. Delete the app if you got to delete the app. Whatever the case is, whatever measures you got to put and instill within your life to see to it that you are in control, then do that. When you feel like you got a good grip on your responsibilities and your life with the cases, then yeah, you can pick your phone back up. But shout out to this video. Of course, this video comes from a channel on YouTube called The Nation View. Of course, there's a few other people that are sharing their thoughts on how social media is destroying them. Of course, I'll leave the link down to the full video if you want to check that out. And do please share your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.